AI has totally revolutionized our lives. We are already using it in most of our daily tasks knowingly or unknowingly. Today, we can develop complex applications using AI without writing a single piece of code ourselves. We have a number of AI tools available to perform such tasks, Google Gemini and ChatGPT being top of the list. The Wii application you are currently viewing was entirely designed and developed by AI. It took less than 2 minutes for Gemini to design this application. The process of getting this app developed by Gemini is the most simple one can imagine. Today, we will walk you through the steps involved in producing something like this using AI tools. And from now onward, you don't ever have to write any codes yourselves. Let's get started. First, we simply asked Gemini to create a simple HTML editor. We will explicitly ask for a single document because we do not want separate codes for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Gemini will create HTML, CSS, and JavaScript codes, which we can copy now. Select the entire code and copy it to the clipboard. Then go to your desktop or any other location and create a new text file. Rename this document to HTML editor and change its extension to HTML. Changing the extension to HTML will make it a web page, which we can open in a web browser. Open this document in a text editor and paste that code inside the text editor. Make sure to save the file. Now, open the HTML file in a browser. Our basic HTML editor is ready and working. Whatever HTML code we write in the text area above is displayed in the text area below as final document. However, for now we have to enter the HTML tags manually. For example, here we entered a text and changed it to bold and italic, and in the text area below, the same is displayed as bold and italic. Let's go back to Gemini and ask it to add some necessary buttons as well. We want it to make changes to the original code and add buttons we have just asked for without writing the entire code again. Let's ask Gemini to add some buttons such as bold, italic, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, insert image, and insert a hyperlink. We have to be smart at asking the right questions, as the results totally depend on the questions asked. Gemini will now revise its original code and add the buttons we just asked for. Here is the final code. We can now copy this code and replace the previous code in our HTML file with this one. Remember, this is not an increment to existing code. It is total replacement of the previous code. It includes the previous code plus the code for buttons we just asked for. Now refresh the web page. And as you can see, the buttons are added properly right above the text area. Let's test our HTML editor now. We will make this text bold to test the bold button. Let's add some more text and change it to italic using the italic button. We can add some more text and change it to bold and italic at the same time to check both buttons. Let's check the headings buttons, but adding some text as heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. Let's add an image to our HTML document using the Insert Image button. Enter the URL to your desired image and click OK. Here is the image we have just added to our document. Finally, let's add a hyperlink to our document using the Hyperlink button. Enter the URL or your desired hyperlink here and click OK. Now, enter the text that will appear in the document instead of the URL itself and click OK. And here is our hyperlink, which we can click on and go to the source page. And as you can see, our hyperlink is also working fine. We can simply place this HTML file on a web server but we have an ASPX website, where we have created a blank ASPX page. So, we will copy the HTML code from the HTML file and paste it inside the ASPX file here. Now, we will simply save the ASPX file and access it using its URL address. And this web application has now been published, which you can access using a URL in your browser. However, there is a problem with this application. Due to it being inside as ASPX page, whenever we click on a button, it reloads the entire page, and the content disappear. We can correct this problem by simply adding return false inside each button. Make sure to add return false after its intended action has been performed by the button. Otherwise, the button will do nothing. Add this code inside all buttons and save the document. This code will prevent the ASPX page from reloading each time the button is clicked. This also means that even if the entire application is written by AI, you must have enough knowledge to at least troubleshoot the problems. Now refresh the application in the web browser. Let's test the application on the web server by adding some text, an image, and a hyperlink. The application is now working perfectly. You can access this application using the URL you can see in the Chrome address bar. We can type in the line break element to move the image to next line. Or we can simply add some code to automatically insert the line break element when Enter key is pressed. This code will simply replace the carriage return, which is added for line break when Enter key is pressed, with the line break HTML element, which we previously entered manually. Let's refresh our application and test this code. First, we will copy this text, which we will paste again after refreshing the application. Now, as soon as we press the Enter key, the line break element will be added automatically instead of carriage return. That's why the image went to the next line. So, we don't need a button for everything. Sometimes, we can take it a step further and automate the conversion direct from keyboard entry. And with this, we end our tutorial. Thanks for watching. We hope you liked our tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful tutorials and updates.